Boo! Did I get ya? I'm pretty sure most of you guys know what's coming, but if not, then you're in for a treat. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Barker Physics, and I make cool stuff in Minecraft. Like this rock crawler, this road, or this tractor in my survival world. You can expect some of the coolest things to come out of this channel, and I always go off what you guys suggest. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments and make sure you're subscribed. But other than that, in today's video, we're going to be trying to make a functional bird, or as it's also known as an ornithopter. For those of you who don't know what a bird is, come on, it's 2026. But an ornithopter essentially is a mechanical way of flapping wings to create flight. So, can I do this in Minecraft? Well, why is this not working? Oh my god. So the answer's clearly no, and I gave up immediately. But then I had an idea. We have technology. Using the power of ChatGPT. No, I'm just kidding. I asked you guys. And boy, did you guys have a lot to say. So I started again, and bit by bit, it started to come together. So I gave it its first test flight. And while it definitely moved forwards, it didn't really do much else. I tried going around and adjusting a bunch of the different settings, until this is what I was left with. And I gave it another test run. I wasn't quite sure exactly what I was doing wrong, but I was clearly moving backwards, so I had to keep trying to improve. Or something like that, I don't know. So I kept playing with all the different settings, and then testing it, and then once again going over all the different settings, and testing it again, until eventually, I was finally starting to see some progress, and it was giving me so much hope to actually be able to make a working ornithopter, so I kept on going. After more tweaking and more testing, I had this, which was looking really good. It just didn't quite have enough lift to actually keep itself off the ground. And then at some point, I had this. Now while it might look a little bit silly, it is actually keeping itself off the ground and going up. It's maybe tilting backwards a little bit too much, but in theory, this is a working ornithopter. So there you have it, guys. Yes, it is possible to make a working ornithopter in Minecraft. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys later. What? You guys are still here? The ornithopter I built barely works and looks like crap? What? Okay, fair enough. Let's keep working on it. I was definitely starting to make a lot more progress and get this thing to be working at a much higher standard, but then, unfortunately, this happened. Oh no. Oh please, no. This was a huge scare, so I started to try and dig it out. Yes, finally! This was definitely a big scare, but I did end up getting it out. It was a long process and involved much digging, but we got it out in the end. With that finally out of the way, we can get back to working on this and making it work properly. After playing around with it some more, I decided that this one has had enough. It's not going to work, and we needed to try something fresh. I started placing blocks, not so much in a random order this time, but I had an idea of where I wanted to go, and I just stuck with that. You can also see I started using the transmission and linkages mod, and this really helped compact the whole system. This was definitely the best design yet. It was super efficient in every way, and I had very high hopes for this machine. It was still taking me a few goes at each part to get it exactly how I wanted it, but everything was moving very smoothly, and I had no worries or no thoughts that this would ever possibly fail. Looking back at this, the transmission and linkages mod is just such an amazing add-on. The pneumatic rods really do look like muscle fibers, and I think it just emphasizes the bird sort of structure. Of course, I was still making mistakes here and there. I was changing stuff a lot, and sometimes it looked a little bit silly like this. Of course, this little mistake was easy enough to fix. I just added a gearbox to reverse the direction of one side, and that made it so much better. It was really looking quite nice at this point, and I think the flapping motion was just perfect. At this point, I thought it was ready for its first real test, so I got some super glue and I started gluing everything together. Then I placed the assembler, and it didn't work out quite right. I had missed some spots. No biggie though, I put the dangling part back where it was supposed to be, reassembled it, and then did the job properly. Or so I thought. So I put it back in place again, fixed up all of the broken bits, and actually did it properly this time. Oh, yes, finally. At this point, it was finally time to start messing around with the sails, aka the wings. And I did mess around with it a fair bit, changing it up. I did change the position of the swivel bearings, but as you can see here, I think it turned out for the better. This looks really, really good in my opinion. It was also finally time to give this a test flight. And I'm not sure what I was expecting. There's barely any surface area on the wings, so I needed to fix that up. I started off by adding a tail and then extending the wings in each way, and then I decided to give it another test flight, and here's what happened. It was definitely going up this time, but unfortunately, when I tried to work on it next, this had happened. Oh my god. At this point, I was completely devastated. That was over 3 hours of work and over 100 gigabytes of footage that you've seen me put into this thing so far. I did not want to continue, and I was not sure on what to do next. So after sulking for a day and a half, I decided, start again, why not? I won't bore you with every little step of the build for this one, it'll just be this very quick montage, and as you can see, I was getting a lot faster and a lot more confident in how I had built these things, and by the end of it, I think this turned out to be the best one that I had made so far. I was a lot happier with how everything functioned, and if you look at how it actually flies, it was doing a lot better. It was spinning one direction, like in circles, but I think that was just because one of the swivel bearings was backwards. I did eventually get this fixed, and as you can see, it was actually working really well. It was going up, and it was going forward fast. I couldn't believe my eyes at this point. The only thing left to solve was the fact that it kept going up higher and higher instead of staying level. I did eventually get this mostly sorted out. It still rises a lot, and I haven't added any steering or anything yet, but at this point, I am done with it. It is working. That's where I'm calling it quits. I really hope you guys have enjoyed watching the process of this. If you did enjoy it, I would love to hear what you guys want me to make next, and I want to make sure you guys know to subscribe and like the video, because I spent way too long on this thing, and I want all of that effort to be put to good use and to make this channel continue growing, because we are growing so fast, and I have delayed putting out videos way too long because of how much time was spent on this. So like I said, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you're hitting that like button and subscribing. I can't wait to be on next videos and streaming more for you guys. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys at another time.